All right. Good morning. We are gearing up for another Car Chronicles with Cabrina. For safety, I'm letting you know I'm driving hands-free. So, Dad, I'm not holding the phone, and I am paying attention to the road. So if you see me look away, obviously I need to pay attention while I'm driving. Car Chronicles with Cabrina, excuse me. Is just a series that we're going to do. I do my best thinking in the car, and this is just my opportunity to hopefully drop some gems that will be beneficial to other individuals. So if you see this and you know somebody who needs it, feel free to share it. That is completely encouraged. The goal is just to empower as many people as we can. All right, topic for today, feelings. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? Like, I'm sure I just had a lot of people stop the video, log off. I don't want to talk about it. I know. Trust me. I know. But just because you don't want to talk about it doesn't mean you don't need to talk about it. So, where do we start? Okay, I'll start with yesterday. So, yesterday, I was notified that I was not selected as the final candidate for a job that I applied for. And a girl that I know, actually, she helped train me in the position I'm working in now. She's the one who got the job. And so, in my mind, initially my response was, well, you can't be happy for her and disappointed. And then I thought to myself, well, why can't I? It's the duality of things. I can be disappointed that I didn't get it, but I can also be happy for her, even at the same time, because the feelings that I have are valid. So that's the key word for today, valid. And the key phrase is, your feelings are valid. So a lot of times, I think that we shun our feelings, and initially it started as a push. It started for me as a push that I would say that we don't teach our boys who grow up to be young men and then men how to emote or how to express their emotions. But the more I talk to people, the more I realize it's not a racial thing. It's not a gender thing. We as people just don't take the time to emote. If you tell somebody, if something traumatic happens in people's lives other than death, and someone feels like crying, it's generally filled with, but I don't want to cry, or but crying doesn't solve anything. But for me, and I am a solution-focused person, just because crying isn't the solution doesn't negate its ability to lead to the solution, right? So if I put you up 36 feet in the air and tell you don't look down, you're going to look down. That has been said so many times that you probably knew what I was going to say before I finished it. But the concept, I don't think, is very often outlined. So here's the concept. What you focus on is what you see. It literally changes your perspective, which thus changes everything around you. So if you're always focusing on not crying, you can't see the beauty around you. Sis, just go cry. Like, bro, just cry. Like, it's okay. It literally is okay to cry. That is just a feeling. And what did we say? Your feelings are valid. And so we go through different things in life. My stepmom is who made this real for me. So myself and my kids lived with my stepmom and my dad for a while when COVID first started, probably close to a year, not quite a year, but give or take. And so when it was finally time for us to go, the morning, we're saying our see you laters, thank yous, love yous, and she just busts out and she's bawling out crying. I mean, like, cannot contain herself crying. Like, she literally had to go in the house because she could not stop crying. And so, I get in the car, we leave, and we're driving the 5 hours that it takes to get back to our new location or whatever. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, she was so dramatic. Like, these are the things playing in my mind. She was so dramatic. What is she doing that crying for? Like, we're going to see him again and this, that, and the third, right? Granted, my stepmother is older than I am, right? Quite a bit older than me, right? Because she's my stepmother. So life, and sometimes those see you laters aren't really the way you intended to see someone later, right? Okay, that's one part about it. But the other part is what hit home for me, and thank God for the revelation, is that I had stonewalled for so many years that I didn't even understand that my body was telling me I wanted to cry. Rather than listening, I was just suppressing the signals, I was suppressing the signs, and I was mistaking them for something else. And not only was I hurting myself, then I tried to convince myself that my stepmom was being dramatic. She wasn't. What she was doing is recognizing that her feelings are valid. And so she sat in her feelings and she gave herself the freedom to feel what she felt. I don't think I've ever loved that woman more than I did in that moment when she taught me that. Because she taught me I don't have to stonewall to be loved and accepted. I can feel what I need to feel in the moment I need to feel it. And guess what? My feelings are valid. So I've been asked this question several times by different guys that I was in a relationship with at one time or another. And the question is, are you bipolar? I laugh, but it's not a shot at people who are bipolar. But if you're around me in that kind of capacity, you kind of see where the question arises from. The simple answer is no, I'm not bipolar. But this most recent time, my children's father, he asked me that more in a caring, concerned way. It was just like, you're really, really happy, and then you're really not happy. Like, you're really, really bothered, sad, angry, or whatever it is. Which defines bipolar. But, and initially, I simply told him no. That was it. There was no expansion on it. There was nothing. And so what I did was I took some time for myself, and I had to sit in my answer and ask myself, what evidence shows you that you're not bipolar? Because we're not going to live this life of running away from mental diagnoses because of the stigmas associated with that. We don't care what they say. We don't care what the paparazzi or the glamour squad or the Toon Squad or whoever in the background has to say about what's going on in my life. We care that you're healthy. And this is a conversation I'm having with myself. We care that you're healthy. So if you think you're bipolar, then we need to see a therapist. Don't just say no because you're turning it down and you've not even considered. These are the hard questions I've learned to ask myself. And so in sitting with myself, sometimes it takes me a few days to process, and that's okay. And so when sitting with myself, what I understood was, and what I came back and explained to him was, I'm not bipolar. The problem is I often spare other people's feelings by hurting my own. And so rather than saying, ouch, you hurt me, I'll eat that shit. And when I eat it, what generally ends up happening is it alters my mood after a period of time. People can only be fake happy for so long before they get frustrated. And then I have to reel myself in. It's like playing a game of fishing, right? I have to reel myself in because I done got too sad. That's because my mind has had times to play back on all the times you let me down and I didn't tell you, and I could have said this and I should. When my little brother said it's a circus in my brain, that was the honest to God truth. But it's because of my anxiety. It ties back into my anxiety, and once again, the need for me to put everybody before myself. So no, I'm not bipolar. And so that answer, expounding on that answer, helped me, because it helped me admit that I was sacrificing my feelings for the feelings of other people. Because rather than respectfully telling you you're wrong, I would just eat it. And I would eat it with a smile on my face, and I just keep going. And you'd never know that you hurt me, and we'd still be best friends or whatever, the capacity of our relationship was. That's a dangerous game to play. And that's why for years people have thought I was bipolar, but I could not identify what I was doing to lead people to thinking I was bipolar until I sat with that. So all that circulates right back to this same point, is whatever you're feeling, you're valid. How you communicate those feelings, your response to those feelings, all those things are different than how you're feeling. How you're feeling is valid. Somebody stole your car and you just want to cry. Somebody walked up to you and called you stupid and it made you angry. Be angry. Someone told you look beautiful today and you want to be happy. Be happy. Whatever you're feeling, you are valid. Your feelings are valid because all they are is a reflection of who you are. Now, your response and how you go about things after you felt your feelings, those are different. We'd have to have a different conversation on those because you do have an accountability or responsibility component when it comes to those. Like if somebody called my kids stupid, I have every right to feel angry. Those are my feelings and they're valid. However, I do not have a right to go shoot somebody's kid because they called my kid stupid. Well, that was just extra. We got to talk about the accountability component on the other side of it. So make this distinction today because I want you to live in your best spot. But in order to live in your best spot, you have to understand that whatever you are feeling, you are valid in feeling so. And so many times we argue with people. People say, well, I feel like as a child you abused me. That's real for them. You have no right to tell them that that's not what happened. You can say it wasn't my intent or what I was attempting to show you. There are ways we can say things, but what you can't say is, well, that's just not true. Oh, so you're the expert on their feelings? Oh, so you can tell them? Please. You can't tell anybody how they feel. Those feelings are real and they're valid. Let people feel what they feel. And as you explore your feelings, what happens is you're going to start uncovering things about yourself that you really didn't know, because a lot of us pretend to know ourselves, but we really don't. A topic we'll touch more on at a later date. But those are questions you need to be able to ask yourself because you can't heal until you know a lot of those answers. I can't change what I do if I don't know why I do it or if I'm not admitting that I do it, right? So, in closing, I'm going to say this again. Your feelings are valid. Whatever you're feeling, I ask that you find yourself, whatever your safe space is, whatever that safe space looks like for you specifically. Don't try to go to Facebook or to the TikTok or whatever other thing, or call mama or Susie or daddy or whomever. You got to talk to yourself. What is your safe space? What is your safe haven? Go there. And whatever you're feeling, I need you to sit there and feel that. I need you to bask in feeling what you're feeling in this moment. And then when you're done, we get up and we'll figure out about making a plan for how to go forward. But right now, in this moment, I need you to feel what you're feeling. I need you to quit suppressing it. I need you to quit hiding it. I need you to quit telling me that it's not a solution or your feelings don't matter or whatever this, that, and the third. We've rehearsed so many times that we start to believe it, and now we're not free to express our emotions. Be like my stepmom. Feel what you're feeling, even if it means you have to step away just for a moment to collect yourself. Feel it.